Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down.
Oh my goodness, we are here live and in color. Color, baby, Technicolor. We're still in our Hawaii gear. When I tell you that mood is tough to break. Y'all see me in my flower, my colors. Katrina's looking all colorful. Tribe, Force of Friendship Tribe. We are here, the Force of Friendship. Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette is away on other business. Glory is still in Hawaii doing her thing, her extended vacation. When I tell you we are suntan, sun-kissed, sun-loving, vitamin C was good to us. Hawaii owes us nothing, baby. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Woo! Yes. So be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube. I mean, you know where to find us. 9 to 10 a.m. The Superstation. WFDF. We are here Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're excited. Katrina, you're looking good in that orange. How you feeling? We just got back this morning. How do you feel?
Well, first of all, I feel great. And I know y'all know how it feels to go the other direction because we only had a 5-hour flight. You had 5 hours and more. How long did it take you? At least 12 hours to get from point A to point B.
Absolutely.
So it took a while. I mean, we flew, came back. It was amazing. The whole half the plane was Mary Kay national sales directors. One guy, can you believe, we were on there and the guy said, was just talking. It was just amazing. It was a beautiful, powerful trip. And as we were landing, there were still so many girlfriends that were getting on and going to the other leg of their journey. So like unbelievable. It was a beautiful time. Hawaii is always a good idea. I mean, it's just always a good idea to do Hawaii. And so I was talking to Anthony's cousin today, and I said, I got to bring my mom back. She hasn't been for a long time. And it was just like, got to go back to Hawaii.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. It's hard. It's so hard to articulate it.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we could give pictures, we could talk about it, but people talking about nature's beauty, God's country, the most beautiful flowers in the world. The birds sing differently. The sky is bluer. The mountains are amazing. The ocean breeze is incredible. I just want to bottle this feeling up because coming back today, honestly, I tried to limit my time with news and really wanted to have the peace, and I would get snippets of the news, but the mass shootings, the shortage of baby formula, gas skyrocketing, projected to hit $6 a gallon real soon, all over the country.
Which for California means $8 because we're already at $6. So
right.
How do you fathom that when somebody is making $15 an hour?
I don't know, Katrina. I don't know. But for the first time, no, it's not the first time because I thought about that. But it's like, I mean, I know this is the land of opportunity and we're in the opportunity of the land, but something's got to give. Something's got to give because we cannot let our country continue to go this way. We've got to do something about gun control. And then monkeypox. How about that? This monkeypox situation. So when I tell you, I wanted to fly myself right back to Hawaii after I started to see what the headlines were. But you guys, we just continue to be prayerful, vote, make sure that you're talking to your legislators.
Oklahoma, we got to have some Regina come back. I mean, Oklahoma from the time of the fertilization, it just was so.
My home state. I'm embarrassed, actually. Shameful, shame that this is where we are in 2022. This is where we are in 2022. So, you know, I mean, we go from peaceful, beautiful bliss. Oh my goodness, we had such great girlfriend time. If you have not been to Hawaii, put it on your bucket list. If you haven't been in a while, go back. Somebody says, I'm going to go back to my little grass shack in Kalakakua, Hawaii. I know I'm not pronouncing it right. Renetta, call in, let us know how you pronounce that. But yeah, I can see myself in the shack. Oh, Millicent says she paid $6.49 a gallon on Sunday. You guys, how are people making it? I don't know, but we got a boss babe. We got a boss babe, Alexandra Nicole. She owns 6 businesses. 6 businesses. She considers herself a serial entrepreneur. She's like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm grabbing the bag, baby. I'm grabbing the bag one way or another. She's going to come in just a little bit and talk to us about a new book that she's recently written on entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about being super bad all day long in this climate, owning your power, deciding what it is you want and going to get it. So girlfriends, we want you to travel. We want you to love life. We want you to know tomorrow's not promised. So you deserve the best of the best. If you don't know how to get it, let us empower you, enlighten you so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Katrina, what was the best part of Hawaii for you and hubby?
Okay, so first of all, when all the girlfriends are here, we have to do just a Hawaii show because you know, not just talking about Hawaii, but how to vacay, how to put yourself in that powerful environment. The difference between traveling, I mean, Anthony, we were blessed because, you know, we all got a little loopy during the pandemic. And when we were able to get out of the house, I mean, he took me to 2, honestly, of what I think are some of the best hotels in the world. The Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Niguel was beautiful. And the Ritz-Carlton in Half Moon Bay, horseback riding on the beach, you know, 5-star high-end hotels. But it's not even on the Richter scale compared to traveling with y'all. It's a different energy when you just sit down and it's just you and your husband. Right. My husband's sitting over here and he's like, what are you talking about? But you know what it is, but it's just you and your man.
I said that to my husband too. And he tried, I was like, Kenny, it's so different when we travel alone. It's us. We have a great time, but it's nothing like the energy of girlfriends. And he's like, oh, you wouldn't just have a good time with me? I said, baby, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying life is so rich and rewarding when you can travel with girlfriends, like-minded, no pettiness, no gossiping, no jealousy. And you're laughing until tears come down your eyes. You guys
almost got kicked off the balcony from this one right here. So loud. And let's just say it, Kenny and Anthony would agree. Okay, I know Ken Banks would agree, and I absolutely positively know that Bishop Charles Ellis III would agree as well, that they have a great time vibing off of each other, the energy. I mean, those Spitfire, what were they called? Slingshots. Thank you, Sabrina. That was your idea. Those slingshots. I mean, doing that by yourself is one thing, but all
That's right. You guys, a slingshot. You got to go. We probably posted it here. We didn't do a great job posting everywhere on Force of Friendship. We're going to catch up. But we rented 3-wheelers, which were fire one day. Just took the whole day and rode the coast. And those were memories that will be remembered forever, for sure. For sure.
So we got to do that. We got to do that show. And I will say this is, I know you bring in your guest. She's gorgeous. I can't wait to get to know her. But part of the reason we could do what we do is because of entrepreneurship. I mean, honestly, there are people that, you know, you got entrepreneurship and you got to have the cash, because honestly, the people that were there at that resort, they like the Magic Johnsons of the world. Okay. I mean, they were paid. So you want to position yourself and live your dreams, work hard, play hard. It's the name of the game. I'm so grateful that I'm an entrepreneur. So grateful.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Did you guys hear Magic Johnson was in our hotel? Him and Cookie and some of their partners were hanging at the Four Seasons with us. The nicest guy. Nicest guy. We got conversation. Kenny and Magic were on the 1992 Olympic team together the same year. And so they had stories to tell and reshare. So it was awesome, you guys. It was awesome. You guys, we're going to do a whole Hawaii show when all the girlfriends come back. But today, we've got a superstar, Alexandria Nicole. Bring her in, our guest for today. Alexandria!
Thank you so much for having me, ladies. I'm so humbled to be in your presence. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. So welcome. Listen, before we go to break, I'm going to give them a brief introduction, and then we're going to find out a little bit more about you and how you are where you are. You guys meet Alexandria Nicole. For one, I think that's a movie star name. It sounds like a movie star, okay? She's passionate about empowering people to recognize their personal strengths and using their strengths to contribute to the collective power of humanity that derives from connection. She is a published author, having released her debut book, The Entrepreneur's Checklist, on Amazon in 2021, and is recognized as the first woman of color to contribute literary works to Mountain Town magazine of Breckenridge, Colorado. In her purpose-driven outlook on life and desire to create generational wealth, she considers herself a serial entrepreneur. Did you guys hear me? She has 6 businesses. She's going to tell us all about them. Her expertise in diversity and inclusion afforded her the opportunity to serve as chair on the Breckenridge Equity Advisory Commission, and founder of the National Monthly Grassroots Conversation, the Solidarity Talks, meant to uplift and strengthen communities with respectful conversations and intentional giving. With no further ado, you guys, we're going to bring Alexandria in. She's going to tell us where she lives, what she does, a little bit about her family, and we're going to go to a break in about 4 minutes. Talk to us, Alexandria.
Yes, thank you so much, ladies, for having me, and thank you to the followers and the supporters of this wonderful broadcast. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, so I'm Alexandria Nicole, and I started this journey of being a serial entrepreneur because I really had to identify my why. And after thinking about all these various things, like, oh, I want to make money, that wasn't a good motivating factor. You know what I mean? Oh, I want to have this and that. No, it was my daughters. And that was the thing that I determined that gave me the power to move forward with opening these businesses, facilitating this wealth with my husband and moving it forward. So whenever I get tired or whenever I feel like, oh Lord, it's another day and I've got so many emails that I need to send out, right? I think about my daughters. I think about the example I'm setting for them. I'm thinking about them not operating from a space of desperation when they get older because they have an abundance of choices because mommy and daddy set it up like that for them. You know what I mean? Yes. That was my why. Once I identified that, I hit the ground running.
Yes. Talk to us about your daughters. How old are they? How long have you been married? Talk to us a little bit about your family.
Yeah. So my daughters are 12 and 5. So our oldest baby is Hayes. We spell it H-A-I-Z-E. And the baby is Clarity. And my husband said to me while we were pregnant, I said, what are we going to name the baby? This was not planned, hence the gap. And he's like, the first time around we were a little bit of a Hayes, but this time we have more Clarity. And I was like, okay. So we have Hayes and Clarity, and I've homeschooled our oldest daughter for 5 years now. That's also a part of the method of why I chose the entrepreneurial path, is to really cultivate into our children and to really mold her. We have a God-based foundational teachings that we do. She has her own business already at 12. She has a pet sitting service. So all of the things we're sewing into them so that we can set them up for success.
That is so awesome. Okay, so do we have time? We got a couple minutes. Tell us all the businesses that you and your husband are involved with.
Our most profitable business that generates 6 figures is our construction business here in Breckenridge, Colorado. And we specialize in all things with new builds and tile installation, kitchen and bath restoration, because we're a general contractor with our business. We have a property management company. I have an apparel line called GIA. It's an acronym for God Inspired Apparel. And I have my book. I have a podcast. I don't want all the money. I don't want some of the money. I want all the money. Okay.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Now, how did you guys end up in Colorado?
Oh, well, we were traveling on the road. My husband was in the Bricklayers Union, and we wanted to stay together as a family. So while he was traveling, we traveled with him, and we ended up doing a job in Nebraska, and we visited Colorado and absolutely fell in love with the atmosphere. You can see God's work here. It's beautiful. The mountains in combination with the water and just the vibe, everything about it. And we said to ourselves, this is where we want to place our roots. This is where we want to raise our daughters. And we decided to move here and do just that. Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from North Carolina.
Really? Where? Where?
Greensboro.
Yeah, Greensboro. Okay.
My parents are actually still there.
Excellent. I knew there was a little Southern girl in you. Okay, I see that twang. I see that twang. I hear you. And is your husband, where is he from?
He's also from North Carolina. That's where we met. 13 years ago and started our journey together. So yeah, and we're just building together. We came up from nothing and we've just cultivated into our marriage and each other and wealth, and we're building our empire together.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Breckenridge. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful there. Do you guys ski? Do you ski?
I snowboard terribly. My children and my husband do so gracefully. They picked it right up. I'm more of a hammock kind of lady.
Okay. We're going to go to a break. You guys, we'll be right back. You're listening to We Got Issues, The Force of Friendship. We're going to be right back with Alexandria Nicole. We're talking big baller, shot caller, make the money, baby. We'll be right back. We're back, we're back, we're back. We're back with the beautiful Alexandria Nicole, serial entrepreneur. When I tell you she's got it going on, yes, yes, yes. Terry Bell, Bob Bell says, come on, North Carolina, come on. And
I'm just trying to be like y'all. Y'all are lifting me up. I'm trying to be like you.
baby, come on with the tribe. Come on with the tribe. Alexandria, thanks for being such a good, loyal listener. You tuned in a couple of months ago and you barely missed. So talk about what the show has meant for you, the inspiration that you get. And then we want to hear about the book that you have recently written.
Yeah. Well, I tune into the show because you ladies are all such wonderful beacons of light. Mm-hmm. And that camaraderie shown within the community of Black women. I love that because I think a lot of times when we have things portrayed on us of Black women, it's not always in the best light, right? So that's why I gravitated towards you ladies, because you are so positive. You are business oriented. You do lift up your guests and you lift each other up. And that was something that I felt like really I connected with, because you get tired of seeing things that aren't good for your mind and your spirit. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So that's why I've been so loyal, because I really connect with you guys on that level.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we certainly welcome you. Bring some of your other girlfriends over, because that's what we want to do, is empower, enlighten, enrich, encourage, and enjoy each other. Mm-hmm. You know, life, like Katrina said, on vacation is one thing, and of course you go away and you have a great time, but our best times are when we are with each other and, you know, about to get kicked out the Four Seasons, okay?
The Serenity Pool.
We were at the Serenity Pool. I mean, just the pictures are amazing. We were at the Serenity Pool, and the pool attendant comes over and says, "This is a Serenity Pool." And basically, like, we don't want to rename it after y'all leave. Okay?
Simmer down, ladies.
Exactly. And we respected that. We respected that, and then just took the party on somewhere else. But anyway, tell us about this book. Tell us about this book that you've recently released, why you wrote it, what's it about, and how can people get it?
Well, I wanted to create one place where somebody could come and get all the tools they needed to become an entrepreneur, right? So it's just a pamphlet, and it's no muss, no fuss. It's not my life story. It's just like, this is what you need to do. And I created that so that you can just have one space you refer to and then write everything down on your checklist. Because when I was opening my businesses and I didn't have the knowledge that I needed, I had to get this information from here. I had to get this one from here. And then I'm writing my EIN down over here. And then I'm writing some other numbers over here, right? So I said, if somebody could have something where they can get all the knowledge that they need and then have a concise place to put all that knowledge down, that would be amazing. And then I thought, well, why don't I just do it?
Right.
So I created it. It's 26 pages of telling you exactly what you needed to do. I just self-published and put it on Amazon because I didn't want to jump through any hoops or, you know, utilize a publisher and go through
that part, Alexandria. Let's go back to that part, because that deserves a round of applause. You had an idea. You thought it was useful information. You didn't wait for somebody to give you permission. You gave yourself permission. You owned your power. You said, I've got the knowledge. I think other people can benefit from it. Let me put it together. Let me put it on Amazon. So let's talk about being self-published, because there are a whole bunch of people. I tell people every day, you got a book inside of you. When are you going to write your book? When are you going to write your book? So talk about that process a little bit.
Well, I wanted to jump on it and move forward because I didn't want a passion to die. Because sometimes if you become too stagnant in a certain area, it'll just leave you. You won't have the drive to do it, and you'll be done with it and on to something else. And then that could have been an opportunity you could have tapped into that you're no longer utilizing because it's past. So I wanted to really capitalize on the idea why I had it, write everything down, convey all my thoughts, create the checklist. I created the cover off of Canva. Canva is my life. It's my go-to for all of my business marketing. Yes, $15 a month. Get your Canva, ladies. Okay. So, and I just published. I just uploaded it. I actually, one more step I missed. I had it formatted from a wonderful woman. She charged me $2 a page. So literally by the time I got everything on the page, I had it formatted, had the cover design. I had it published within a month.
Wow.
because I wanted to move on the idea. I wanted to keep that excited energy about it and then release it in that way. So yeah, the entrepreneur's checklist is for anybody that is ready to go from an employee to an entrepreneur. It is for those people, and getting your things in order and starting off on the right foot. Because me and my husband learned the wrong way. We learned in the aspect of that experience route of putting it together, and then your business takes off, and then you're scrambling trying to put the rest of the
Right.
pieces. You need to start off in the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You said, like, even with the book, sometimes people have, everyone has skill sets, and then there are things they don't know how to do, and they don't always know where to go find people that can help them. And of course, we always know there's nothing like word of mouth. There's nothing like a referral. But you mentioned the woman who helped you for $2 a page. Do you use things like Fiverr or some of the other, I can't think of all of them out there, for your business? Like, for someone who just doesn't know Canva, like, how have you, do you have
So
ways
how I
to
found
hire
the women that
help?
formatted me was I found her actually on YouTube, because
Okay.
I was looking at a video to learn how to format, and I was watching her, and she was making it look so easy, and I was like, okay, bet. I got on the computer. I was like, oh no, I don't know how to do this.
Right.
So I actually reached out to her. I found her on YouTube initially, and then followed up with her on Facebook. Sent her a message, told her about the project, what the fee was, signed her contract, and we moved forward with it. She had it formatted in like 2 weeks' time for ebook and for paperback. So I don't use those other platforms because I'm a person that's kind of visual. So if something is in video form, I connect with it quicker than going to an app and utilizing that like with Fever. Is that how it's pronounced, Fever?
I think it's Fiverr, but just the
Fiverr.
fact that you found someone on YouTube and you reached out to her, a lot of people wouldn't even think that someone who's on YouTube would actually be a resource, a paid resource, or even someone you could ask questions. So that
if I can't, well, that's another part of entrepreneurship. If I can't get to it this way, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to pivot.
Yeah. Getting resources is big for people to support, and it's not always as expensive as you think. So that's so good.
Sometimes the inquiry is just the connection with knowledge, because initially in my mind, you're right. I felt like that if I reached out to her, this is going to cost me $1,000. I don't have this invested in the book. I don't really want to do that. If I talked myself out of it before I even reached out, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to know that it was only $2 a page. You know what I mean? So sometimes just obtaining the knowledge is half of the journey.
Exactly. So how do we find your book?
It's on Amazon. Yeah, the Entrepreneur's Checklist on Amazon is ebook and paper format, because I'm a person that likes to hold things in my hand. So, but I also know that there's people that are about the Kindle life. So I wanted to offer that for both of those demographics.
Excellent. Give us just a couple of your favorite highlights of the book. We know it's a checklist, but what response, when people respond to your book, what do they talk about most?
Oh, people really resonate with finding your story and then aligning what it is your business is going to be based off of what you are, what is your personal asset. Because a lot of times people go after what they like as opposed to what they're talented in. I like to sing. But am I going to be no? You have to identify your personal gifts and then make that into your assets so that you can receive revenue from that. So really people resonate with the aspect of really sitting down and determining what you can bring to the table and how you can generate money from that.
So identifying personal gifts, talk about that, because that is your strength. That's who you be. That is what you're good. How did you become good at it? And give us a few pointers on identifying, because we've got some women and men out here listening and will listen in the future, and they know they have gifts, but they're not quite sure.
Yeah, it really takes writing things down. It really takes manifesting what it is you want your life to be, identifying what you kind of have to start from the end point and move backwards. I know that one day I want to have a jet. I know that one day I want to have a house so large that I have quarters. that if our daughters want to stay at home, they can have their part of the houses and not bother me and their father. You know what I mean? I know that I want that. So I thought, well, this is the end point. How do I work backwards from there? What am I gifted at? Okay, I'm gifted at connecting with people. I'm gifted at speaking with people. I'm gifted at organization. So you really have to determine what you can bring to the table and then think about, well, how can I turn this into a profitable aspect of myself?
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask, I know we just have a couple minutes before break, so you might have to continue it afterwards, but with all the businesses you have, some people work and build their business up to a certain income point, and then they go from there. Like, I have this idea, my business, I get everything in place. How did you start, like, making money, getting clients? Was it just, getting your first few and then word of mouth from there? How do you then take that idea and actually start to get some clients and make some money?
Marketing.
Hold that thought. We got to pay some bills. Talk about paying some bills. We got to go to a commercial break. This is Juicy Good. We'll be right back. We got issues with the force of friendship. 9 a.m., the Superstation. We'll be right back. We're back. Yes, we are. Oh, look at that bright smile. Alexandria Nicole. She's officially a girlfriend. She is on the show, killing it with information, bringing us so much juice inspiration, education, information. This is the Force of Friendship. We got issues. We're here 9 to 10 a.m. The Superstation, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Thank you, Tribe, for hanging with us. The girlfriends have been on vacation the last 10 days. So we just been in and out, but you've been here and we thank you for that. But today we are here live. And we are talking with Alexandria Nicole. She calls herself a serial entrepreneur with 6 businesses. Katrina asked a very good question, but for people who might have come in a little late, tell them the 6 businesses that you are part of. And then Katrina, you'll re-ask your question and Alexandria will answer.
Yes, ma'am. So I have Majestic Mountain Tile and Stone. We are a general contracting firm out of Breckenridge, Colorado. I have Alexandria Nicole Consulting. I'm in diversity and inclusion consultations for townships as well as corporations. I have Gia, which is an apparel line. I have the Empower Hour, which is a podcast. I'm just doing all the things. I need a list right here so I can read them off.
Okay.
We need a list. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, I have so many questions, but the one that I asked before break was, because your checklist is going to help people, it sounds like, figure out what their talents are that they can translate to money. So you get to that point and you get your business set up, all the legal stuff you need or whatever, you're ready to open your business. How do you start making money, getting clients, like really getting to the point that is some ka-ching in the bank account?
Absolutely. Well, you have to align yourself with people that are operating in that same space, and you have to market. Mm-hmm. And you have to make sure that your brand is concise so you are properly conveying what service you offer. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes that brand messaging isn't concise, and so people are really confused about what it is that you do. So you have to make sure that you're properly conveying what it is that you offer, and then look at your marketing approach subjectively. Take yourself out of the equation and think, well, if I saw this flyer, would I be interested in participating in that webinar? Does this person look professional enough to where I would listen to what they have to say? You have to look at things subjectively, you know what I mean? And evaluate how you're bringing yourself to the table. And understand that you have to practice grace with yourself, because you're not going to know everything out of the gate. I look at some of my messages, you know how Facebook gives you the reminder, here's your such and such from a year ago. I look at that market and I'm like, Lord God, what was this? You know what I mean? So you're always improving. You're always leveling up yourself, and you have to give yourself grace for where you currently are, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So is that what you did? Is the construction the first business you started? And is it because, how did you know that was the first business?
Because we looked at, it was a combination of what me and my husband were skilled at. Mm-hmm. So my husband is skilled. Like I said, we were traveling in the bricklayers union. So we know that he is capable of laying tile. He's capable. He has a card holder, you know, with the bricklayers union, with OSHA. So we know he's skilled in that. And we know that I'm good at connecting with people. I'm good at conversing and building rapport. And so we took those two things and we combined them and thought, well, let's open up our own construction company, because when he was on the road, we are recognizing these people are undertaking multi-million-dollar jobs, mm-hmm. but it's my husband's skill set that's executing it. So you know what? We're going to cut out the middleman. We're going to take the multi-million-dollar contract.
Yeah.
And I will handle the clerical side and he will handle the physical side. Mm-hmm. Now we've grown to the point where my husband isn't laying. Now he's overseeing our team. But that's what it is. And our first year here, we were nominated for Best New Business. Mm-hmm. Our second year, we were nominated for Best Customer Service, because it's a combination of what we're strong in. But we have had to first identify that in order to think, well, this is the direction we're going to go in. And all the other businesses just sprung up out of identifying the need in the area, looking at ways that we could capitalize off of the need, and then tapping into that.
I'm going to pass it back to you, Sabrina, but I definitely want you to talk about how it is to work with your husband. Because seriously, I mean, to build a successful business with your man, did it strengthen the marriage? Was it challenging? How do you break it up so it's not 24/7 and you laying bricks on a Friday night? How do you do that?
It's honestly a combination of both. It strengthens it at times and makes me want to choke him at others. Okay. So it's interesting because we had to be intentional on separating business from cultivating our marriage.
Okay.
And saying, and you know, one of the things my husband had to work on was setting healthy boundaries, because he'll let a client contact him at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, no, tell them nothing, because it's 10 o'clock at night. Right. So we had to really navigate those waters as well, and make sure that we are having proper boundaries for us as a couple and as business owners. But it's ever evolving, because the bigger we get and the more clients we have to oversee, now it looks different than it did a year ago. So you have to be so malleable in this space and ready to pivot at any moment. Do we need to put somebody in this place because you feel obligated to respond in a certain time? You know what I mean? So we have to look at things differently and shift that. But I think it's a blessing. He's my best friend. You know what I mean? Our marriage by no means is not perfect at all, but I think we are good teammates. I think we're a good parent unit together. We're on the same, you know, wavelength in terms of where we want to be, where we're going as a unit. So really, ultimately, it's a blessing. And I'm so, I feel so happy to have the opportunity to work with my best friend every day.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's just so good. That is so good. I mean, you just think about but being your own boss, how smart that was to see the big picture of, I no longer need to have a middle person. I can do it. We can do this. But it takes a visionary and it takes obedience. So talk about the vision. Who's the visionary of the team? You or hubby?
I think I'm the visionary.
Okay.
I think I am. I'm the one that kind of sees where we can go. But initially, if you would have asked me that 10 years ago, I didn't have that faith in myself. I had to do deep work on changing my mindset, because I was beating myself up. I was my own worst enemy. Therefore, I was accomplishing nothing and manifesting poverty. So I was operating in this realm of, well, I'm lesser than because I dropped out of college. I've never operated in a corporate space. You know what I mean? All this negativity that was surrounding me and therefore manifesting my situation. It wasn't until, you know, I really evaluated myself. I was like, you know what? I do have something to bring to the table. Having that is more than confidence. It changes the way that you operate in life. It changes the way you move. It changes the rooms you're willing to walk into, right? Nobody is going to have confidence in what you're capable to accomplish if you don't have it within yourself. You
okay, so talk about the work. Talk about the work. You said you had to do the work. What does that work entail? What does it look like? Who did you reach out to? Because there are, again, listeners, you know, we talk this talk, Alexandria, because we understand it. We know it. We do it. Right. But we got to break this thing down and tell them what kind of work, where to find the work.
Yes. So the work ultimately starts with you. And I found my work also too by turning to God and receiving like pastoral care. But ultimately, you can lead a horse to water. If you're not ready to level up your mindset and to believe in yourself, you can go and talk to a therapist 7 days a week. It's not going to matter. Doing the work is a personal responsibility, and it takes personal accountability, because we can either make excuses for ourselves and remain stagnant, or we can say, you know what, I'm not winning in these areas. I need to address that. So that accountability is the first step to really overcoming and strengthening yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. And then staying cognizant of the fact that you have that within yourself and warding off those thoughts, warding off those demons that come into your mind and try to creep back in and make you feel lesser than again. You have to be like, no, sir. I banish you in the name of the Lord. You can get out of here if that fool. We have to talk to ourselves sometimes, and that doesn't make you crazy. That makes you aware, because you will either overcome the thoughts or you will be subjected to them.
So good. That's so good. It's so good to hear you say that. Being in Colorado as African-American couple, I know that brought about its challenges Can you just
well, our challenges are even more so different because my husband's white. Our children are biracial.
Wow.
So we have heard all of it.
That's a hurdle to go through.
Yeah, that took a different level of strength. You know, our daughter, when she was in school in the first grade, she was called Predator because her hair was big and curly.
Wow.
And they didn't know how to identify. They call her a predator, automatically went to a negative connotation. So I had to be intentional with talking about self-love and embracing her beauty and embracing both sides of her identity and all of the energy that, and also when she comes to me and tells me she wishes she was white, because that's the world that we operate in. Me putting my feelings as a Black woman on the back burner and being present for her and lifting her up while removing my feelings of being hurt.
Right.
So that's also another space that we operate in, of navigating, and it has its own challenges, just like it would if we were a Black couple. Being an interracial couple, you know, we constantly have to define our marriage, and
right.
We need you to come back for another show on that. Okay. That is another show for real.
Exactly. When we come back, I do want you to talk about homeschooling, how you made that decision, being so busy, so involved in business, my goodness, and homeschooling. You super bad. Alexandria Nicole, you just super bad all day long. Oh my goodness. Well, I think it's about that time. Thank you for calling us, you guys. Thank you for checking in. We got issues 313-778-7600. Do know that this is live on one part. We're going to be live on the radio in a few days with this show. We had to move some things around. But when I tell you these nuggets are worth taking notes from, you got to make sure you get Alexandria's book. What's the name of the book, Alexandria?
The Entrepreneur's Checklist.
Amazon. Order it today. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Oh my goodness, this has been such a great show. We are with Alexandra Nicole, a serial entrepreneur with 6 thriving businesses. Recently wrote a book. We're going to all run to Amazon and get the entrepreneur's checklist. Talk to us about homeschooling. Yes, I think you said you've been homeschooling for 5 years.
Yes, 5 years now.
Okay.
So we made the decision because we wanted to be so intentional in what our daughter was learning and set her up for success. So we have conversations about assets over liabilities. You know what I mean? We have discussions about practicing discernment when you're evaluating friendships. We do this one thing where if she goes off on a play date, if she comes home and I'm like, so how was your interaction? Well, they cuss a little bit, or this, that, and third. I'm like, okay, you'll go on a couple more play dates and we'll evaluate them then. And then she comes back and she's like, I don't think they're a good fit for a friendship, right?
Nice.
But we are practicing discernment without judgment, because we don't get off on a tangent talking about the person. She's evaluating whether this is a good fit for her. Mm-hmm. So what's going to happen is that'll be a part of how she evaluates friends that she aligns herself with, and then partners that she aligns herself with throughout life. Mm-hmm. So it's those aspects of how we sow into those states of being within our children that we feel like we're setting them up for success. We have financial literacy conversations. We have talks about character building. Like, we're talking about all the things that I feel like she would be missing out on if we went the public route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What curriculum? What curriculum? How do you figure that out? Like, I'm like, I would want to teach that if I was homeschooling, but you just how did you figure that out? Okay.
Yeah. So I have a book for all of the things. It's just math, science, language, arts, all of those things. I have a book that I refer to. But in terms of like the biblical aspects of things, we just go over a scripture every day. And we talk about the character building and the liabilities and assets through like YouTube videos. And I constantly have her listening to things, so it's embedded in a part of her. Because for a lot of us, when we're on this entrepreneurial journey, we have to figure things out by ourselves. And a lot of times we got to correct bad credit and all these other things that we weren't set up for success from the gate. So we're talking to her about credit cards right now at 12 years old, because she wants to open up a smoothie shop by the time she's 19. And she's already got her own business. Remember, she's got her pet sitting business. So we're talking about these now. So she won't need to get a job unless she wants to for experience. Mm. That's how we're breeding her to be self-made.
That's awesome. Maybe my husband and your daughter will go into business together. He wants to open up a smoothie shop. Okay.
Does he? Come on now.
He really does. He really does. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He talks about it all the time. We look at spots. He's like, that would be a good space. That would be a good space. Me, it doesn't really excite me, but hey, that's what he's thinking. So
he's got a book with recipes, and I'm like, did you measure that out? How many cups of bananas did you put in? I didn't measure it. I just wrote down banana. Put half a cup and a half. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm teaching her to think about every single thing. And on the flip side, if she's doing measurements, we're also tackling the math aspect. So it all comes together.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. That's amazing. What about Gia Apparel? Talk to us about your apparel company.
Yeah. So my favorite line is the Human Dignity Matters hoodies, which I just absolutely love. And everybody that sees it, they're like, I love what that shirt means. And I came up with that because that's also a biblical phrase, but it's also aligned so beautifully with the solidarity talks and what it is we're trying to facilitate through that conversation. So I started this community conversation in 2020, and it's grown to the point now of not only being a conversation where we're discussing the strategic change that we'd like to see, but we're also taking action. So I collect clothes all year round. I collect non-perishables all year round. I have what's called a free clothes shopping spree, where they could come, we have conversations, and people take the food that they need and the clothes that they need at no cost. So that we're not only just talking about what we want to see, we're actually taking the action, right? Mm-hmm. So wow. I absolutely love everything about the Human Dignity line, and I'm so excited about all the ventures.
Yeah. We're getting short on time, and can you talk about time? Okay. How do you fit it in? How long do you spend on the homeschool and businesses? How do you even begin to set up your schedule?
Yeah, well, I spend about 5 hours a day with my daughter on curriculum-based things, and the rest of them are physical, tangible things. I take her out you know, we learn from experience and get her out of the house so she can have those experiences, which are a part of her learning. But I just get up really early, and you have to be, the time delegation is so important, right? So I know that if I get up at 5 o'clock, I know I've got 3 hours within that space to handle marketing, to handle emails. A lot of times what I do is I'll formulate an email, but I'll do a schedule send for 9:30, and now I don't have to think about that. And now I'm ready for when my daughters get up and I have no more quiet and I can't think, that now I have to pivot into mom mode and we go over our homeschooling things. I know that when I have my daughter in the bath, that's when I have morning meeting with my husband to discuss the day. It's a lot.
I came off vacay in my mind thinking about your schedule.
No, I need you back in Hawaii. Don't release that energy quite yet. I know it's wonderful.
How do you refuel? We got about 1 minute left. Being busy, having successful children, keeping the marriage hot and steamy, taking self-care time. How do you refuel yourself and get what you need to be great in all areas?
I listen to myself and I allow myself the space to be tired, and I take a break when I need it. And, you know, at this point in our lives, we can afford for me to say, well, mama just needs to spend the night at a room so that I can eat salad in the bed without people crawling on me. I can watch Curb Your Enthusiasm if I want to, next to a fireplace, and take a bath when I want to. I have to be honest with myself, because that was a problem that I had at the beginning too, is trying to always produce and not listening to myself, and then just volcanoing over everybody. So I have to be honest with myself when I'm ready for a break and take care of myself.
So good, so good. Great advice. Janice Gober said great advice. The tribe we really enjoyed you today. You are vibrant. Yeah, we will have a part 2 for sure. Your vibrancy exudes. Your sunshine, energy. You're an energy giver in all that you do. Thank you for coming on the show today. We will definitely have you back. Tribe, we'll see you Monday. Have an amazing weekend. Be good to yourself. Be powerful. Be purposeful, but take some time for you. Alexandria Nicole, we're getting your book. We're going to follow you on social media, and we'll see you soon. Take care. We got issues with the force of friendship. See you on Monday. Ciao. Peace. Aloha.
Aloha.